Hi, Marianne Croce here from Small Biz Vantage and the creator of 3 Day Weekends Coaching. I'm really glad to be here each and every Tuesday for business leadership in 15 minutes. And I do these each week for two reasons. One of them is for you to shift your perspective or your vantage, if you will, of your business and turn it into your competitive edge. And the second reason is for you to take one action item away each week and implement it. So I believe that we can learn from one another as business owners and leaders. So if you find this valuable, please share it with another business owner or leader that you know. I primarily work with business owners and leaders who are in the automotive or skilled trade industries. They've reached some levels of success, they have teams, but what they want to do is they want to get their life back. Many of them find that they need to be delegating a little bit more, and that's where I come in to help. So, this week's topic is something that I've been thinking about for a while. We all get into our routines, right? We have our ways. Hi, John. Nice to see you here. We all have our routines and our ways of doing things. But you know what's really good to do every now and then? Make time for adventures. And I want to tell you the benefits about that, but I also want to tell you a quick little story I want to share with you about this past weekend that we had. It was really, really amazing, and it was full of adventure. So the reason why this past weekend was so amazing, and it really got me thinking about how often as owners we really take time out for adventures. And when you look back, you may not have done something like that in a while. So my husband Tony and I actually attended a wedding in Pennsylvania this past weekend. It was about 3 hours from our home, and it was a 2 day event, and we were really looking forward to it. What we did was we left on Thursday, and in the afternoon we arrived and we saw lots of familiar faces and even some people that we hadn't seen in a while. So it was great to meet up with people and catch up as well, right? Then the following day was the day of the wedding. So in the morning, I actually drove to the airport in Pennsylvania, the Philadelphia airport, and picked up my son and his girlfriend who were coming in. And it really was a nice drive, and it was really good to see them. It had been a few months since we had seen each other. It was before the holidays. So we were able to catch up on the ride back and during lunch. And then some of my other kids came in a couple of hours later, and we all, took a quick nap, and then we were ready to celebrate this wonderful couple. And I have to tell you that the wedding was lots of fun, but there was this underlying theme that I really noticed by all of the people that I spoke with. And even during the speeches and the stories that people had shared, and even during the rehearsal dinner, this couple, they said it meant so much to them about how their friends and family supported and cared for them. They made time for one another, and they always felt that everyone, their family and their friends always made time for one another. And that was so important to them. So it really got me thinking about it. And we decided that we were going to have a little bit of an adventure. So on the way home Saturday, yeah, I have to tell you that my son is a die-hard Eagles fan. And there we were in Philly, and it was the day before the big game here. We didn't know if they were going to be going into the Super Bowl or not. So we decided, for good luck, that we were going to find a place to have some Philly cheesesteak sandwiches, right, in honor of the Eagles. Now, my husband's not an Eagle fan, but we wanted to support our son. So we did. We did some research and we found a place that the locals go to. And we went. And sure enough, we see about 4 or 5 people from the wedding party there. they had the same idea that we did. And we ended up all hanging out and, having a great lunch together. And the sandwiches were really good. Then after that, we decided to go to the stadium. Now, we didn't know how crowded it was going to be, but we wanted my son to get some pictures. He didn't know the next time he was going to be in Philly. So we were there and we wanted to just, have a little bit of an adventure. So not only were we didn't know how crowded it would be, but not only were we able to go to the stadium, we were able to get into the parking lot and we were able to get inside the stadium and go into the pro shop, which was really busy, and get some items in there. And it was a lot of fun. We met great people in line who were cheering, and there was a whole group in there singing. So we had a lot of fun pictures taken, and it was really, really good. Just so much fun. He was all set with his Eagle attire for the game the following day, even though we were going to be watching it at home. But it was funny. On the drive home, we were all so happy and we had such a great time. And none of this was planned. It was very spontaneous. We just decided that we were going to do an adventure. But I wanted to share with you my takeaways from this because we didn't know where it would take us. We just decided to go with the flow. But there were 5 things that I wanted to share with you that I noticed. And number 1 was keep life fresh. Try new things so that you keep growing and you keep learning. It's great. Even though, my husband's team, wasn't playing and wasn't going into the Super Bowl, there's no reason why he couldn't share with someone else's excitement. The next thing, number 2, was be more flexible. Life is always changing. So going with the flow actually prepares you for changes, for challenges that might come up. And, having adventures and being spontaneous, there's another thing that it really helps you with. And that is it allows you to be more creative. You're not trapped by old ways of doing things. You're open to new ideas and new suggestions. And you'd be surprised how often your ideas will actually flow, right? They'll just come to you all of a sudden. And it's so true. Going with the flow, right, John? Absolutely. And the next one, number 4, is you actually have less stress. You experience less stress because people who are spontaneous, they tend to not stress over much. They know that life's going to go on and they're going to work it out. So it's really important to have that mindset and look at things that way because whatever it is, you're going to figure it out. So there's no reason to get really stressed over things. And the last thing, number 5, is happier. You're having a mindset to look on the bright side of things. We didn't know if we were going to be able to get into the stadium. We were taking a chance, but we would have been happy if we were able to just take pictures from outside. We didn't know what the parking was going to be like, but we were just going to be grateful with that. But we felt like we had a huge win. So having adventures helps you live in the moment. I find that business owners and leaders, need that more than they realize because we do get stuck in our routines and our habits, which our routines and habits are great. They help us be more productive. They help us get things done. But every once in a while, it's good to break away and take some time to have an adventure, to be spontaneous. So the idea is it's a way so that you're free of regret. You don't say, wow, we were in Philly. We have no idea when we'll be there. It was the weekend of an amazing, exciting game, and we didn't take the opportunity to go. Darn, we should have done that. So we didn't have any regret. And the other thing is you also gain clarity and confidence from tapping into better decision making because you have a plan A and you have a plan B. So it's wonderful that you can make decisions, better decisions, and you can make them more quicker, right? You can make them quickly. You don't have to agonize over them. And this really allows you to focus and be more productive. So I'm curious, for those of you that are here live or you're on the replay, what will your next adventure be? And you don't have to necessarily go away. It could be something that you do locally. But what is your next adventure going to be? I'm curious to know, because I encourage you to definitely think out of the box and, just take a chance and be spontaneous and play with having an adventure. So I wanted to share this with you next week because there are definitely things that we can learn from that. And again, if you find this valuable, share it on the replay. That's it for this week's Business Leadership in 15 minutes. And have an enjoyable week. Thanks for being here.